And so, Ed, as everyone raves about the Cowboys draft, it feels like they have everything in place except the most important thing. What is taking so long with Dak?
Well, first, Mike, we should remember that Dak Prescott is grieving the loss of his brother Jace, who died just a week ago tomorrow. And as for the contract specifically, I think the disagreement between Dak Prescott and the Cowboys is mostly about the length of the deal. The Cowboys want 5 years. The quarterback wants 4. The reality is what's happening here is totally consistent with quarterbacks designated as franchise tag quarterbacks. Now, Dak's the only quarterback in Cowboys history who's been franchise tagged. But in the history of the NFL, there have been 7 previous instances where a team has franchise tagged its quarterback, and those quarterbacks getting a long-term deal eventually, of those, 1 was signed in March. That was Peyton Manning in 2004. But 4 weren't signed until July, and 2 were signed in August. So this is not an unusual situation that we're in. Now,
the one thing that might be making it a little more complicated is the coaching change, as we mentioned. So there's going to be a new offense, and there's a lot to learn. But we get that the offseason this year is different than it's ever been with these virtual meetings everyone is having. What impact does all of that, do you think, have on this?
Yeah, there's no question that, Mike McCarthy is a first-year head coach in Dallas. They invested, as you said, a first-round draft choice and a wide receiver in CeeDee Lamb. And under normal circumstances, they would have started their offseason program on the field at the Star 2 weeks ago, and they would have wanted Prescott present to lead the installation of the new offense. And in fact, I've been told that had this been a normal offseason, that Prescott would have been done by now because the Cowboys would have, in fact, felt the pressure of a deadline to allow him to be a part of their offseason work. The leverage that Dak has to withhold services, which he's doing. He's not participating in these virtual workouts, but it's just not the same as not participating when the team is on the field. And so his absence, Greeny, doesn't quite have the same effect. I do think that once the NFL declares that facilities are open and teams can get back to work and gather at their headquarters, then I think that will signify that a deal is forthcoming and Dallas will feel the pressure that they would have felt weeks ago.
That's a really important point. Really well done. Ed, thank you so much, my friend. Great to see you again.
Thanks,
and I want to bring Dan Orlovsky in on this because the addition of CeeDee Lamb, we were talking about it this morning, and everyone says, wow, their passing game is just going to be dynamite. But you, I know, have some tape that suggests that he's going to have an impact on the running game as well.
Yeah, Greeny, to your point, their passing game is still going to be very good, but the impact on their running game by CeeDee Lamb will be a big deal, and Dak Prescott will be a benefactor, and so will Ezekiel Elliott. If you look at CeeDee Lamb on the right side of the screen here, he's going to be part of a traditional jet motion. This will be something part of the Cowboys offense. Now, I want everyone to see the impact that it has on the defenders with all their eyes on CeeDee Lamb. There's the mesh point right now. Look at the defenders screaming horizontally from the pressure by CeeDee Lamb, and this is where Dak can become part of a runner. Look at the easy hole that it's created for this offense now. People lost out in space. Also, easy blocking for these offensive linemen. You tell Dak, get 6 or 7 yards, make sure you get down. So he's a benefactor of it. And then let's see how it impacts Ezekiel Elliott. There's CeeDee Lamb again, going to go cross the motion for the jet motion again. Look at the mesh point now. The tailback comes back across the field. All the defenders, again, staring at CeeDee Lamb. There's 6 or 7 guys left over there. You think the Cowboys offensive line is going to like that gashing hole for Ezekiel Elliott? So yeah, their pass game is going to be great, and CeeDee Lamb is going to be a part of that. But I expect Kellen Moore to implement plays like this with CeeDee Lamb into their offense, and Dak will become more of a runner, and then Ezekiel Elliott will be just as much of a benefactor to the run game as Dak is in their pass game.
That's really interesting. And again, if you're with us earlier this morning, Field Yates told us that Dak, with the addition of CeeDee Lamb, figures to maybe be the 3rd best fantasy quarterback this coming season. Of course, he needs to get signed.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.